What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing some fault finding and fuel system testing to try to get to the bottom of a very annoying ongoing running issue with Project MR2. Let's go and take a look. Now, first of all, what is that very weird issue? Now, this issue has been there since the first ever test drive that I did about two and a half months ago.
Oh, come on!
The car will run beautifully. It will start from cold, it will start from hot, it will always idle, and it will run for about an hour.
How can it do this many miles and run all afternoon and then have a little meltdown?
Under hard load, under light load, under partial throttle, it's an absolute peach. It's lovely and quiet, it's beautiful, but after an hour or so, it will hiccup.
Oh, here it comes again.
And that hiccup develops into a total loss of power.
We've lost all power.
Sometimes it will hesitate under load.
Come on!
And sometimes it won't hardly drive at all. If you're coasting along, you will not be able to accelerate. Pull over to the side of the road, it idles perfectly. And this is where it gets weird. Cycle the key.
I'm going to be a brave boy and I'm going to turn it off and turn it back on.
Turn the key back on and you can drive off.
It started working again!
Flat out, no problems at all. And then a couple of minutes later, a shorter time than the initial 1 hour or so until it goes wrong, and then it will go again. And you pull over to the side of the road, cycle key, back on, and you're on your way again. So it tells me it's something, either I'm running out of fuel or voltage to that fuel pump, or I'm running out of spark. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a fuel system pressure test, and then we're going to rig up a gauge onto the fuel rail outside of the car so that we can do a little bit of road testing to see what our fuel pressure is doing under load and also in a state of fault. Now, also, before we go any further, I have tried a known working used coil and igniter. Now, I know, James, you're replacing 30-year-old parts for 30-year-old parts, but as soon as I fitted it, the fault was exactly the same. Now, if those two 30-year-old coils have both failed at the same point, it's just not going to happen. So in my opinion, it's not coil or igniter. Also, I have replaced the circuit open relay again with a used, good second-hand circuit open relay, because that is what supplies power to the pump. I was hoping that maybe after an hour's worth of running, that relay was getting hot and maybe chattering and then sending an intermittent voltage to our fuel pump. But unless you rig up some test equipment to do some road testing and test your fuel system, you can't diagnose. So let's head over to the engine bay and let's have a little look at the testing equipment that we've set up. Right then, fuel system pressure testing. I've rigged up a gauge to where the cold start injector used to sit on the car. You don't need to go to this level of trouble to make a bracket if you're just testing your fuel system at home, but because I'm going to be doing some road testing, some real world fuel pressure testing, see how it reacts to demand under a state of fault, etc., I've made a bracket. So I've also removed this cover panel so I can shut my bonnet down and the gauge will point in right towards my passenger, who will be able to read the fuel pressure as we're driving along. But like I say, you don't need to do that if you're just checking your fuel pressure. Now, the first thing we're going to do after we've connected it all back up, chuck the ignition on, bridge out the FP and B+ ports on the diagnostic. That will run the fuel pump, and then we will let it run for a few seconds and see what base fuel pressure we're getting. So that will prove that the pump has got the ability to push hard enough, and also the regulator has the ability to regulate the fuel pressure. From what I can read in the book, you're looking at 40 to 45 psi. After we've proved that we've got that base fuel pressure with the fuel pump and the regulator is working, we need to do a simple drop test. Turn the key off and wait 5 minutes and just check that that fuel pressure gauge stays above 21 psi. This will check that you haven't got any leaks. And now that that's done, we can move on to the next step. The next thing we're going to do now that we've proved we've got no leaks is get the car fired up and up to temperature, and we're going to check the fuel pressure with the vacuum hose to the regulator connected. I'll put a diagram table here which will tell you what we're looking for with the vacuum connector connected and disconnected. So you're going to be removing that engine vacuum from the regulator, which will obviously affect the pressure that it puts out. So we'll do those two tests now, and then we can move on to some fuel pump electrical road testing equipment. Right, inside the cabin, this is how we're going to monitor the voltage to the connector onto the fuel pump. This grey connector in the bottom underneath the center console. I've put two little test leads onto it, up to a multimeter, which we can set to volts DC, and then when the car is running we should get the full 12 volts. That should be consistent under load, I would say. And also when it's in a state of fault, I want to know if I've got 12 volts to that pump at all times. So fuel system has been pressure tested and we've rigged up a way to check the voltage, but I need someone to sit in this seat and look over his or her shoulder and check what the fuel pressure is doing as we're driving and also in a state of fault. But for that, I need a legend of a man. You may recognize him from other Austin Healey videos over the years. He's the man that has taught me everything, and I mean everything that I know. And he's my dad. Let's take him out for a drive. Let's go and pick him up. Now, one other thing to note, when you fire your car up for the first time, you will not have the help of the cold start injector. So you may have to use a little bit of throttle pedal just to help it along. But then after a few seconds, that will clear and it will run like it always used to. It's about 20 minutes since we started it now. So we're coming up to, well, we're up to temperature. Let's have a little look how it performs under normal road conditions, to give ourselves a bit of a baseline of what we should be expecting on the fuel pressure and also the voltage. Well, there we go, right on cue, half hour, 40 minutes max into that journey. started to bog down, started to miss, came back, went again, and as it was failing, the fuel pressure all the way down to 10 psi, at some points dropping to nothing, and consistent voltage to the fuel pump at the same time whilst this was all happening. So we are losing fuel pressure, but why? Regulator failing? Slim to none, I would say. I think the next move is to remove the rail and the regulator, strip it to the bare bones, and see if many moons ago, when the previous owner tried to get the car running and the old pump was chugging away with the really rusty fuel tank, but maybe a little bit of rust has got through the fuel filter into the rail, and that's causing me intermittent problems. Another thing to think about: pulled over by the side of the road, rev the car, foot down flat, and it would rev, and then the fuel pressure would go away to nothing. Let go of the pedal, rev again, and it was perfect. The fuel pressure stayed good. So it is super intermittent. And again, cycle that key for a few seconds, back on, and we drove all the way home, which was a good probably 15-minute drive. Light partial throttle, no issues whatsoever. Frustrating. Let's get the rail off the job, get it stripped down to the bare bones, and just fingers crossed we find something. Bad news. Rail removed from the job, and it is spotless. It's perfectly clean. I've removed the regulator from the rail, and that's perfectly clean as well. So my hopes and dreams of a little rust shard, a little flaky bit of rust that was just playing around with the regulator and causing it to, I don't know. I was being optimistic, but it is not the case. So it is looking increasingly like that brand new fuel pump that we fitted in episode 2, maybe episode 3, is at fault intermittently, because I can't really see it being anything else. I think the next place to go is a good second-hand regulator. I'll get a regulator in the post, pop it on the rail, pop the rail back on the car, and the next time you see me, I'll be in the car doing some more test driving. And if it's still playing up, can only be the pump, in my honest opinion. Nothing else is going to cause the fuel pressure to drop off. The only thing I can see at the moment is the fuel pump not coping with demand and cutting out intermittently, or the regulator going completely open intermittently to the point that it's bleeding off so much fuel back down in return that it's not allowing fuel pressure to build up. Right, been out driving for probably half an hour or more now. Light throttle, partial throttle, medium load, light load. The car is performing really nicely. The only way to unsettle it is to do some pedal to the metal hard driving. So let's go and do that now and see how it goes, because generally that's what sets it off. I want it to work perfectly, but I just don't know. I just don't know. A couple of kind of medium throttle pulls under load and a little bit of loading up in top, and so far it's working. But as we all know, that means nothing with this weird intermittent fault. Time to do a bit more. Yeah, that's feeling pretty positive, but nothing unsettles this intermittent fault like a little bit of full song. So you're gonna have to endure this one, guys. I'm very sorry. We're just gonna have to drive it hard until it goes wrong. Was that the first hiccup, or was that just me? Happily go round again, because it is good fun. Very, very good fun. I've had worse days of testing.
better, but not quite there. It's just not, it's lacking in the kind of 5,000 RPM range onwards. It's just not, something not quite home, not quite there. It's a lot better than what it was. It just feels like it's lacking at the top end now. Very unusual, but in the interest of testing and getting some good results, I'm happy to go round again. Miss. Oh, it's not quite right. Get back on and it's fine. Quite fun to load up actually. 5,000 RPM. It misses. Good fun though. Proper good fun car. Towards the end of that journey, it just conked out and then came back. And then conked out and then came back, pretty much exactly like it did before we did our fuel pressure testing. So initially it was better and it just started to break down under very heavy load at high revs, kind of 5,000 RPM and onwards. And then it seemed to clear itself a little bit, but it never really took really heavy load and high revs up to redline. It wouldn't do that. And then, like I say, it conked out and then it come back. And then I've just part throttled it all the way home, probably 12, 13 minutes worth of driving. And it's been absolutely fine, almost like it never happened. So it took longer, but same symptoms. Can only be lack of fuel pressure. We've eliminated the regulator, the filter, the flow and return lines, the circuit open relay, and power to the pump itself. So that means can only be the pump. That brand new pump is not quite supplying enough fuel pressure intermittently under hard load after half an hour to an hour's worth of driving. So that means it needs another pump. And from the ringing around that I've done, it's the best bet is to go for an original Mark 1 MR2 30-year-old pump, because the only thing that stops them in their tracks is when they're stood up for ages and they're not run and they get rusty and dirty. But apparently if you keep them going, they're good pumps. Can I bring myself to drop this fuel tank for the third time to take out a brand new pump and put in a 30-year-old Toyota pump? I don't know if I can, but at least we've done a bit of fuel system pressure testing, guys. So it's been a, you know, we've all learned a little bit today. Well, I certainly have. And also, if anyone at home has experienced this, comment section, please drop us a message before I pluck up the courage, if I've got the time, that is, to do another fuel pump, which I don't want to be doing, but never mind. It is what it is. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned.